What's up, family? If it's your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the US, let me know what country you represent. Family, I need you to smash up the likes, smash up the likes, smash up the likes. Also, if you have not done so already, after you subscribe, there's a little bell next to your subscribe button. Go ahead and click that thing right now so you can get your notifications each time I drop a new video like this. That way you'll be in the loop. I'm talking to the people on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, make sure you hit that subscribe button and click that bell for your notifications. We are simulcasting with Facebook. Happy Saturday to everybody, depending on what part of the world you're in. In the US, it is Saturday. But wherever you are, fam, I hope you're having a good day. So yeah, I got a question for y'all. When you hear the term sexual assault, when you hear that phrase, do you visualize a female offender? Probably not. Yet, according to statistics, most sexual offenders are male, there are many female offenders, and they offend children and adults, not just men, but women also. And this is something that is not talked about nearly enough. It's almost like a dirty little secret. Everybody knows it goes on, but nobody talks about it, right? When you look at the let's acknowledge the gender-based stereotypes, such as the notion that men are sexually insatiable, right? Now, that might prevent a lot of men from coming forward, right? A lot of men are aware of this misconception, right? And so they're ashamed to report their own victimization. And they do that, under the assumption that people believe that they haven't suffered anything or they wasn't harmed in any kind of way. So people tend to minimize it, right? But let me explain something to you. When it comes to sexual assault, that's anytime a person is, touched, groped, abused in any kind of way sexually. That's touching, that's kissing, that's all of that. That's sexual assault. And so I'm in the club last night, fam. I'm in the club last night in Houston. And this girl walks up to me. And she like, oh, Willie D. I mean, she's just fanning out, and I just, I just play cool, but she's fanning out. And she like hugs me, so I try to give her a little side hug, and she just trying to, she all up on me. And then she go to a second gear, like, oh, I can't believe, oh, Willie D. So she starts to, she kissed me on the cheek. I let her have that. But then she, started trying to kiss me on the neck. But she kissed me on the neck. And that's when I'm like, yo, hey. And I signal for my dude to, step in, because he really wasn't paying too much attention. It just looked like a normal like exchange or whatever, fan exchange or whatever. But he didn't see that she kissed me on the neck, and I was like, "Yo!" And so when that happens, I back up, like push off, and you can't be too, you can't be too aggressive. I try not to be too aggressive with fans. I give grace to fans. Some fans know how to play it cool. you know, but then sometimes a fan will actually fan out. Sometimes they fan out and they get kind of stunned and they don't, they motionless, but then others, they get aggressive. So this girl, when she make that move, I'm like, yo, hey, like, she can cross the line. Now I'm done with her. And, I looking back on it, I mean, the whole situation, it just blew my whole high because, I'm out trying to have a good time like everybody else, just kicking it. And, you know, anytime I get a chance to get out and be around my people, especially like at a hood spot, I was at a hood spot. So I like to go to hood spots because the hood spot to me, represents no pretension. The hood spot to me is where I started. I'm from the hood. These are people that I'm very, very familiar with. I'm comfortable in the hood. I'm comfortable going to a hood spot. Sometimes when I'm on the road traveling, I'll stop somewhere or look up a spot that's a hood spot, and I'll just drop in out of nowhere. It might be any small town America. I'll just drop in, and it's beautiful just to see people like looking around, going like, "What the man is that? Man, that dude look like Willie D." Because they just would not believe that I'm actually in that spot. And to see that and then to grace them with that experience and to chop it up with the people that that's coming in the spot that think that $20 is highway robbery to get into a club. $10 is highway robbery. Some spots, any kind of money is highway robbery to go into a spot. I love going into those spots. But obviously I can't do it all the time. But sometimes, I get that feel, man, and I just want to be around my people like that, right? Not all of the who's walking in the door, like people gawking, what you got on, everybody watching what somebody wearing, and a bottle popping and all that old stuff. Just good, wholesome people, just trying to have a good time. So, I like being in them type of spots from time to time. But when something like that happens, it reminds you of why some celebrities, create like this buffer and put their people in place, because some people, man, they just go overboard with it. They just go way overboard with it. And this chick, man, I'm telling you, man, like I'm not gonna even lie, fam. If I would have been in a situation where it would have been a security guy right there, right on the spot, I probably would have said, yeah, lock her ass up, like arrest her. But it wouldn't have been a follow-up. I would not have went to court and filed charges and all that kind of stuff. I wouldn't have went through all of that. Because I feel like, I can handle myself pretty well. I'd never be like a Terry Crews type of dude. Ain't nobody gonna do me like that. Like this dude allowed a dude to grab him by the family jewels in front of his woman. See, that ain't gonna happen. Like, hey, what I'm talking about? That'll be the last time somebody tried that with me. Now, the fact that society oftentimes is more relaxed when men are victims of sexual assault, and more relaxed about punishing women who commit sexual assault. That's problematic. Even with the people who are victims, the males who are victims, the way that they respond to women who assault them, oftentimes that's problematic. Because that chick that did that to me, I'm sure she woke up and just with a smile on her face, like, hey, life is good. Like she ain't got no problem. Like it hadn't affected her at all. She good. And that's a problem because she gonna do that again. Like, and I'm wondering, like, if she did that to me, how many people have she's done that to in the past? Right? How many people has she done that to in the past? She's done it before. She's done it to me. How many people have she's done that to in the past? And I'm not just speaking of a celebrity, you know, she's a sexual predator. I'm not, you know, being melodramatic. I'm not trying to be dramatic, but she was way too comfortable doing that. And she also said, uh, she was like, excuse my French and pardon my vernacular, fam, but I need y'all to understand the gravity of this, you know, of this situation, you know, of the altercation, basically. But she said, I want to fuck you. I'm like, like, now, that ain't the first time I heard something like that, but still, you know, that type of talk, that type of rhetoric, take a woman out of that situation and replace that situation with a man, and let a man handle a woman like that. Let a man walk up to a woman, any woman. Oh, hey, you know what I'm saying? And kiss her on the neck. This a stranger. Kiss her on the neck and then say, I want to fuck you. How many people right now would be cool with that? How many people that think that would be acceptable behavior? When we talk about sexual assault, don't get me wrong, fam, there's some things that I believe there are double standards in our society that I don't really have a problem with. There's double standards in the way that men should be providers and protectors and all that kind of stuff. I'm cool with that. I'm a traditional man in that sense. I do believe that men should pay for everything, and women are hypergamous. I believe in that. You don't have to believe in that. That's cool if you don't believe in that. But I believe in that. I'm a traditional man in that sense. But there are other things, and when it comes to like equal work for equal pay, if a woman is doing the exact same job that a man is doing, not playing in the NBA and he playing in the NBA and she playing the NBA, WNBA, he playing the NBA. The NBA make more money than the WBA. But if there's a company that both the man and the woman works for, and they're doing the same job, the woman should earn the same amount of money, right? I believe in that. If they're doing the same job. But double standards in the sense of, who's paying, opening doors, making sure that the woman walk on the inside of the sidewalk, not the outside, closest to the street, all that kind of stuff. I'm traditional in that sense. But, but when it comes to like sexual assault, a lot of women commit sexual assault, and they have destroyed a lot of people's lives, not just males, but girls too. A lot of women have sexually assaulted young girls, and they've gotten a pass over the years. There's a lot of women predators out there, and they need to be called out. They need to be dealt with severely, because just like when a man violates a child, a small person or whatever, even a woman, a grown woman, and it turns their life around, it makes them not trusting as much. It takes something away from them. It takes a little of their freedom away. It takes who they are. It affects their character to an extent, right? it takes something away from you, right? So if that woman is doing the exact same thing and she did the exact same thing, why is it that she should get a pass? Why is it that she shouldn't be looked at as a predator and should be thrown in jail? Some of these women we see are having sex in schools with these 15-year-old, 16, 17-year-old boys, 14, 13-year-old boys. And a lot of us are still slow in the head and we don't understand how that affects a boy's uh, his mental capacity. We don't understand that. So we laughing and joking, think, oh man, I wish I had a teacher like that. I wish I had a teacher like, and you'll be just like that boy, hypersexual. Any little boy, you have sex too early, you're gonna be hypersexual. And next thing you know, he looking for a greater high because he already started having sex. He having sex with a grown woman. That's gonna do something to him psychologically. It's gonna do something to him. And he's not gonna be a normal boy. He's not, because you just um, you sped up his growth. You sped it up. You know, that's why in life, there's levels to what you learn and what you expose children to. There's levels to it. And those levels exist because the way a 5-year-old interprets something is going to be totally different from the way a 3-year-old interprets something, a 2-year-old, a 1-year-old, right? It's going to be totally different. A 1-year-old, if a 1-year-old is crawling around on the floor and is playing with, let's say, a socket or something like an outlet, an electrical outlet, and you hit them on the hand, right? Boom. So by the time they're 4, they already know, don't play with that because that's bad. It's something that's bad. You can get hurt. You don't do that. But a 10-year-old is going to see things differently from a 5-year-old. So a 5-year-old may still believe in Santa Claus, but a 10-year-old will be like, man, Santa Claus ain't real. That's fake. You fake. Santa Claus ain't real. You see, that's levels. A lot of us, we play the game and let our kids believe in this fairy tale stuff, so that they can hang on to their youth as long as possible, right? That their innocence as long as possible. But we know by 5-year-old, we let these kids know the truth ain't no damn Santa Claus, because they're gonna go to school and get embarrassed. Them little kids at school gonna be like, they still believe in Santa Claus. So you got to tell them the truth. There's levels. There's levels to it. There's levels to listening to music. You wouldn't let, you shouldn't let a 5-year-old, a 10-year-old listen to, certain songs, because they don't have the maturity to listen to certain songs. They don't have the maturity to listen to that music and to understand what it is, When you're talking to kids, when you're dealing with kids, there's levels to it. And if you don't respect that, this is going to be a problem. So getting back to these predators, these female predators, they're everywhere and they should be dealt with. They should go to jail. They should get the exact same sentence. You want equality? You want equal rights? Equal pay? What did they say? Equal work, equal pay for equal work? Equal time for equal crimes. How about that? I'm with that. Equal time for equal crimes. Going into the comments. What's up, Brian Taylor Bridges? What's up? A lady 747. What up? What up, Serena? Serena Santiago. Jesus Ruiz. What's up, Jesus? Tanya C, what up? Matt Tripp said, kiss my neck, I'm kissing her neck back. See, this is what I'm saying, fam. This is the type of mentality that we have in society where women get that break. And this is why when men are victimized, people don't take it as seriously. People discount their pain or their situation because men, some men at least, are so sexually hyperactive. You know, they'll stick they thing in anything. You know, you can do anything to them. You can handle them any kind of way, long as they getting some type of pleasure out of it. They good. They ain't got no type of integrity whatsoever, just none. Kiss my neck, I'm kissing her back. You don't even know the chick. You don't know nothing about her. You don't know if she smell. You know what I'm saying? You don't know nothing about her, but you kiss my neck, I'm kissing her back. What's up, John Miller? Alexander, what up? Alexander Kaufman. Jessica Olsen. And here's another thing, fam. Uh, Here's another thing. You know, there's a lot of women in WNBA that are gay, and women that gay women who play sports, basketball especially. A lot of them girls, shit, I would even say half of them by the time, you know, it's you can start seeing the change around middle school. By the time they're in high school, probably at least 80% of the squad is gay, no matter what. Right, right. So you got to know this type of stuff happens all the time. And I talked to a number of girls who play basketball, and they say, yeah, these girls be gang raping girls, but the girls don't come forward because they're ashamed. You don't hear these stories, but I suspect that we'll start hearing a story or two about this type of stuff happening. But women gang rape too. They gang rape women all the time. This stuff happens in schools all the time. I bet you there's been cases of it happening in the NBA, college. Not NBA, but WNBA, college. I bet you it's happening in I bet you it's happening in college. I bet you every woman who played basketball knows somebody who's been violated by another woman. John Miller. Yeah, and the fact that like some people, the fact that some people are even right here, as I explained what I was saying, the fact that some people are in the comments joking and shit, you know, it lets you know how serious it is and why it's one of them situations where it's hard to prosecute these women. Even when you see these women committing sexual assault, these teachers and stuff doing it, a lot of them get slaps on the wrist. You know, they get a slap on the wrist, they get some probation, they get house arrest. You know, if they go to jail, they go to jail for a year or two, and then they back on the streets. But let it be a man, well, it depends on who the dude is, because sometimes, you know, they get these dudes probation, or sometimes they just dismiss the case because they don't want to ruin their life. He's so young. We don't want to ruin his life. But you know, you got to have a certain complexion to get that type of action. These women they need to be held accountable, and they need to start making them register as sex offenders. They should be going up, they should be registered. Every time they pop up, they should be registered as sex offenders. When you look at ask any dude that's been like sexually assaulted by a woman, a young dude that have been raped by women, right? Ask them, you know, about you know their lifestyle, their sexual lifestyle, and they'll tell you that because they had sex so young that they were like over promiscuous. They was just all over the place. Think about it, fam. That's why it's levels to it, man. Imagine if the first time you have sex, everything goes, all of the freaky stuff that you ever want to do, you do it all in one day. When a child have sex that early, it opens them up to all that stuff because there's no boundaries. And yeah, good point, L. Turner. So yeah, you got women in the workplace that abuse their authority, just like you have men in the workplace. More and more women are gaining more power and more influence. They're getting more money in the workplace, and they're having power over men. They're having power over hiring and firing and promoting. And so now, when a man trying to get promoted, or even a woman trying to get promoted, a woman trying to get a raise or whatever, sometimes she has to acquiesce, to that predator's demands, or she feels the pressure to acquiesce to that predator's demands. So there's a lot of women, they going under the radar, fam. A lot of them are going under the radar, but they need to be called out. They need to be exposed. Once somebody violates you, you know what I'm saying? You got a right to defend yourself, right? You got a right to defend yourself. So what if I'd have gave her a two-piece? You know what I'm saying? Ding, ding, fries, and shake. I had every right to do it. What's up, Anita Blevins? Pure Bin Laden. Ricky Park, what up? Cherie Jones. So here's another thing. Again, fam, just the ignorance that we have uh, towards women committing sexual assault. It's just, and and these are grown ass people leaving these type of comments, right? Did she look like Whoopi Goldberg or Halle Berry? What goddamn difference does it make? When a woman gets sexually assaulted, do anybody say did he look like Denzel or I don't know, whatever dude name? You know what I'm saying? Do you ever heard somebody say something like that? That's what I mean, fam, about this double standard and why it's so dangerous. It's and why you have so many women predators who go under the radar. A lot of these women predators go under the radar because of uh, this type of attitude people have about women who are sexual predators. Regardless of the gender of the parties involved, non-consensual sex is sexual assault. But you know how that go, fam. That's usually not the perception when the predator is female and the victim is male. See, here's the deal, fam. Like, if you want, if you want to be done treated fairly, if you want justice, you got to be consistent in your demand for justice. You got to be consistent. You can't say, "Oh, well, I don't need it over here." Oh, well, because I feel this way, I'm gonna make a joke about this or whatever. No, you got to be consistent in your demand for justice. You got to be consistent in your support for victims of sexual assault. You can't say, well, because she had on some certain kind of clothes, then, well, I ain't gonna say nothing about that. Or, well, because it was a boy and not a girl, well, you know what? I'm gonna make a joke about it. Oh, at least she was fine. I wish I'd had a teacher like that. That's that ignorance, fam, that slows the wheels of justice, slows it to a grind. What's up, Steve Jordan? And it trips me out too, fam, that it's grown ass people that be in the comments saying making these type of statements. And you wonder, some of them got kids, and you wonder why the kids behave the way they behave. You got grown ass people who don't know how to have a grown up discussion. So now I see, what's crazy? I was with Godfrey, comedian Godfrey, last week, and there were women coming up to Godfrey uh, taking pictures. And Godfrey would do like this, and or just have his hands like that, have his hands like that, like like that. Just have his hands like that, and or he have his hands behind his back. And I was like, man, what's up with that? He's like, man, I ain't trying to get me too. I'm not touching them. I'm not touching them. And when women tried to like put their hand on him, he's like, no, 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 no. And I thought it was a little extreme. But had I done the same thing last night, I'm not having this discussion. So I kind of see why some people behave the way they behave. You got to protect yourself. You got to protect yourself at all times. Because a person get a little too close, ain't no telling what they might do. Miss Mecca, okay. All right. What up? What up? Appreciate you. Real Code G, what up? LB Symphony. Who was that? Lovey Star? Lovey Star Beating? What's up, Lovey Star? All right, fam, we'll give a few more shout outs and shut it down. What's up, KL? Who's that? Buckhorse DC. What up, Buckhorse? Charlene D. What's up, Charlene? Champ Smith, Orlando, Florida in the building. KL Ash. Cuba got caught up. Make sure I remember. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Cuba Gooden Jr. Yeah. Well, Cuba Gooden Jr., he was, he was doing a little too much. Cuba was doing too much. Yeah. Yeah, he was doing a lot too much. But yeah, fam, I appreciate you guys joining the live. Who was that? Dom Demaria. Yep. Appreciate you. Yeah, fam. Look, listen. I'll say it again. Keep this in mind, fam. Regardless of the gender of the parties involved, non-consensual sex, non-consensual touching, kissing, groping, probing is sexual assault. Point blank, period. I appreciate y'all for joining the live, fam, and hearing me out. If you missed it, go back and listen to what I said, fam, because I think it's some very important information there for you. And you know what? I gave you some information, but I did not give you the instructions. And I do believe that, I gave you instructions, and I did say that they need to be reported. They need to be called out. And I think if, I think after the shock, it took me, I was kind of shocked, so I didn't really know how to respond to that, but now that I have had an opportunity to respond, I probably would have put them laws on her ass, because she was totally out of line, totally out of line. Again, fam, put the shoe on the other foot. Put the shoe on the other foot. Now, what if that was a man doing something like that to a woman? What if a man walked up to a strange man, walked up to a woman? Oh, I love you. Kiss her on the cheek, then kiss her on the neck, and then say, I want to fuck you. What do y'all think should happen to that dude? That's what I thought. The exact same thing should happen to a woman. No more talk.